TV's education coverage is brought to you by Lilly, a medicine company.
Wish TV is your education station. A program designed to make college more affordable for Indiana students is growing, but is presenting new higher education challenges. MJ Slaby is bureau chief for Chalkbeat Indiana and has information on this program and what the growth means for Indiana students. Thanks for being here, MJ.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So what is this program and what is it offering to students?
Absolutely. So the 21st Century Scholars Program, it actually turns 35 years old this year. And for students who meet eligibility requirements, largely income-based, they're able to get a scholarship that pays full tuition to a public Indiana college or university or partial tuition to a private school here in the state.
I was actually a 21st Century Scholar, and it's life-changing for people who maybe I was first-generation college student. I didn't have the opportunity financially to go, and this allowed me to go and get that opportunity to be where we are today. What are some of the factors responsible for the program's growth at this point?
Yeah, absolutely. So you know the program well. Well, one of the biggest changes came out of a 2023 law, which was auto-enrollment. So you may remember, in order to sign students up to be a 21st Century Scholar, the Commission for Higher Education would have info nights for those 7th and 8th grade students, trying to get families to sign up for the program. Now, any eligible student in 7th and 8th grade is automatically enrolled in the program, and the commission and others in higher education are spending more of their time trying to educate families about the program itself, what you need to do to be able to stay in it and get that free tuition later on.
Are there challenges that the program is facing currently, though?
Absolutely. So like I said, some of those things where you have to talk to the students in school. So we know that absenteeism is a big problem in schools right now. And so being able to continually to still reach those students. So they're reaching more students, but still being able to stay in touch, make sure they meet those requirements along the way. Indiana's college going rate is dropping a little bit. For several years, we were hovering around 53%, which was already down from 65% of students going to college a decade ago. And then in 2023, which is our most recent data, we're down to about 52% of students going to college after high school. And so that, combined with sort of an emphasis on career and technical education, there are some challenges to make sure that students know their options for colleges and take advantage of them.
So what does the future hold for this program then? As we look at, the past 35 years of it and the success of it to that point, where do we go from here?
Yeah, absolutely. And so the story that we recently did, we talked to the Commission of Higher Education and others who work in this space, and they're optimistic. They say that, yes, there's a emphasis on work-based learning, but that really goes hand in hand with going to college. So many careers now need some sort of credential after high school. So you can do both. It's not an either or. And that auto enrollment we talked about is doubling the size of the cohorts of students. So it's a matter of, like I said, getting those students in, and so they know what they need to do to stay in it, and seeing that this is a viable option for them.
This helps those students, but there is a requirement on the students' part as well, once they're through high school and also into college, to remain under that program, correct?
Yeah, so there's several things that students have to do. There's a scholar pledge that outlines different things, such as having at least a 2.5 GPA while they're in high school. They have to do extracurricular activities or a service activity. And then another big one that there's a big emphasis on making sure students do is filling out that FAFSA, or the free application for federal student aid. So yeah, definitely things they have to do in high school to stay eligible, and then continue to stay eligible while they're in college and work towards that degree.
Yeah, that GPA plays a major role. But I remember being in college and thinking, like, at least I was still working for this. I had earned my point in college at that point and was continuing to keep that scholarship, and it made a huge difference.
Absolutely. And, another thing that the commission told us is that 21st Century Scholars, they're going to college at a higher rate than their peers and completing college at a higher rate. So there's lots of successes across the last 35 years.
MJ, thank you so much. We, of course, have this article up on our website as well, wishtv.com, if people want to learn more. We appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.